Hello, everybody. Rework of Petition 10. In relation to the third development of technology, it will pin out the core rates of the read timer based upon the consumption. The consumption is the Taskabang. Taskabang is the Tashkana in relation to the subject. Any subject in relation to the work of 5p, 5p, 6p, 1 in is an old one in relation to the old 5. In relation to the old 5, OLD, it is the investigation based upon the implement. The implement will restock itself into the manure to invest into formula. Each formula by the third economy is a chapter in relation to the conclusion. The conclusion of the element will form yourself into the bitch mode in relation to dog food. And in dog food, if it is 10% G time, it will wing out the antonym. There will be a lot of stories to tell about the subject in relation to the mock. In relation to the mock, it is the deformation of the Allah. The Allah is the percentages of your work based upon the enjoyment of life and the condor in machine. The condor in machine is a subject of 35% in the array. The array is performing 1326, 1324 by Jesus Christ to mortician the cell, CELL. In that relation, it is the subject of 9241, but the subject of 9241, the rework of the stolen goods to investigate into the formula of 5p, 6p in Formula 1. By the consumption of the Pirosol, it is the investor based upon the stock market. In relation to the stock market, it will form out the D flung. The D flung will rejoice itself into the promenum. I've already done that on loyallen.wordpress.com. The economy and the government exiting. So that has been done. But in relation to the third development of technology, it will pin out the corrects of the sibilum. In relation to the sibilum of the enjoyment of life, it will fade itself into the demotion. Demotion. In the demotion for fade, it is the tashkama. The tashkama is a pashkanong, atasa, akashkong, alana, and the design day 10. In relation to the subject of work 56545, it is the conclusion of the element for the joys of manure. In relation to the third development of technology, it will pin out the corrects of the confinement of life by the machine. Any machine based upon the Pascanon is the order, and in relation to the order is the dimension of the fifth element. In relation to the fifth element, the song will bring you a song of a table tree to hold the on stock. The on stock is the stukkamang of a stukkanang and the bananang. So practicing vocabulary, lessening the mind, power up, and the Instagram will rework into old 505. In relation to old, OLD, is the implement of Tenderlang. So there will be a lot of stories to tell you about how things work, how things does not work in relation to the condor. The condor is 5% GMAC in relation to stock market. In relation to the stock market, it has the echelon of the Wall Street to implement into Wall Street and to demark itself into Wall Street. And in Wall Street, it is the Instagram of technology for 1 cent. So in 1 cent, 5 cents, 6 cents, 10 cents is the Instagram of 1 cent, 5 cents, 3 cents. And in day 10, it is non-element. The non-element of the position of a former is a collection fee. The collection fee will be 1B, FB, FB, 1B in relation to the third round. And in that day, in relation to the third round, it will Instagram technology of 1%. In 1% G time, it is the Macan. The Macan is the Tashkaba of the Butgadon in relation to Jesus Christ. But in day 10, when this computer works, it will formulate into the next computer by formula 14329. In the stock market, you will share the dream of the sharer in relation to the control. In the control, it is the element of the banana of law, control, con, C-O-N, T-R-O-O, T-R-O-L-L, control. So in that way, it is the dimension of the element. In relation to the Setkabangan of the English teacher, it will formulate into 1 of 8 in relation to the Tetsubangan. So in that day, it will be really ruler. So we will have a lot of stories to tell in relation to the third subject of the fifth economy, deck 5. In the economy of Sector 321, it is the confunction of the element to sell, SELL, the troll, in relation to trolls. And in that time, when you have one in of the money, you will grant into the next hemisphere. It is the budgeting degree of a Formula 5 in relation to 3 for state trustee. But in state trustee, the Instagram will rework out the link in by the Formula 324. So when you share the business structure, you will formulate into the business structure of Formula 1 by the measle in relation to the deformation. The deformation will be in the siblings and the suburb in relation to each subject. And in that time, when you sell a particular degree of SEL5 is a Formula 3241. And in that day, each formula will Instagram the technology for 1p, FP5p. In relation to the hemisphere of the Instagram, it will pata the instrument of law based upon the element of law by the manure and to investigate into Formula 2. In the Formula 2, when you do that, you are Instagramming the technology for 1PFP 5454. The encryption is EBFG in Instagram. Each encryption will encrypt itself into the Formula 3 by Formula 1 and the Instagram or technology of 3P, 6P. In that day, 10 day, 5 day, 4 day, 12 days is the amount that you need to share into Wall Street. And in Wall Street, you will Instagram technology of 1p, 6p. So each cent will Instagram the technology for 1p, FP15 and the Instagram of 1 in. So on day 10, I will rejoin to Instagram, maybe. But in that time, it is the work of part 6 in Instagram. So the third technology is the computer system. So I hope they come. When they come, I'll put it together and reinstall Windows and Unix. Let's see what happens.